This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Stacy Jensen. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900.
Welcome and thanks so much for joining us here on News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Stacy Jensen. It's Wednesday, March 16th.
Well, a house fire Wednesday morning in Pahrump caused significant damage, but the homeowner was able to escape with only minor injuries. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, along with Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, were dispatched to a structure fire on Kellogg Road, just east of Homestead this morning, for a manufactured dwelling that had heavy smoke and fire from the rear side of the building. One person inside the structure was able to egress. According to Fire Chief Scott Lewis, this male received light thermal burns but declined to be medically transported to Desert View Hospital. Instead, he was checked out on scene by medics. Fire crews were able to extinguish the blaze, which was said to possibly have started from an electrical fire and is accidental in nature. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue is investigating the cause of this fire. The home sustained major damage. Valley Electric arrived on scene to secure power to the structure.
And Nye County Sheriff's Office continues its investigation into a Pahrump crash that has taken the life of a bicyclist.
Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary units closed down the area of Homestead near Gamebird this morning to further investigate what is now a fatal crash that occurred on Monday. According to the Nye County Sheriff's Office, the bike rider involved in this vehicle versus bike crash succumbed to his injuries on Tuesday. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Chief Scott Lewis tells News 25 that the bike rider originally involved in this crash on Monday was transported to Desert View Hospital with injuries sustained as a result of this crash. And police and fire crews were busy as usual here in Pahrump. They were called out to a morning fire to extinguish an unauthorized burn that started to get out of control. Fire crews were dispatched to what was first reported as a mobile home fire, possibly with someone inside off of Winsong and Basin in between David and Leslie Streets this morning. Upon arrival, they found a utility trailer which was on fire in a yard which was difficult to access initially. The trailer was completely destroyed by flames. Fire crews conducted a cleanup operation to contain the blaze to its original point of origin. Fire Chief Scott Lewis told News 25 that this was an unauthorized control burn which started this fire. No injuries were reported.
And Frontsight Firearms Training Institute and its founder, Dr. Ignatius Piazza, is embroiled in a legal battle that may ultimately determine the fate of the facility. An investigator claims that Frontsight has defaulted on a loan and they're trying to foreclose on the property. Meantime, a growing number of members are seeking legal representation, claiming they've been defrauded. And the future of Frontsight itself remains in the balance.
Pending in the Clark County courts, there's an action brought by a lender against Frontsight for default on a loan. The lender gave Frontsight $6.375 million. That loan matured. It became due a short while ago. Principal in full. Frontsight hasn't paid it. They've also stopped paying interest on the loan. And so that's why foreclosure proceedings are going to be happening unless Frontsight comes up with a $9.7 million bond.
Well, there are two fronts that I am most intimately involved with. One of which is criminal. We'll talk about that in a minute. The other is the civil. The central pervading thrust of this is that it is fraudulent, that it's a Ponzi scheme, and that many of us who have purchased lifetime memberships have been getting them withdrawn. Keith Greer is an amazing attorney, a wonderful human being, and he has been working with us tangentially and consulting with our attorneys.
The class action lawsuit has not been filed yet due to some very erratic actions taken by Ignatius Piazza, the owner and president of Frontsight. Ignatius Piazza has been collecting tens of millions of dollars from members over the last two decades with promises of building the resort out there in the training facility. And instead of building the facility, he's taking the money, he's putting it in his own pocket. The Facebook site has been set up so that Frontsite members to have a place where they can get current information about the status of the lawsuit, and to facilitate members being able to make complaints themselves. Piazza is canceling the memberships of anybody he identifies as in any way being confrontational or questioning his authority or questioning his actions.
To me, this borders on witness intimidation because we are active witnesses and complainants in this criminal case. And because we won't keep our mouths shut, we're being kicked out of the organization. And a lot of people have actually left our group.
Even if he refunds their money, they are still being defrauded out of a valuable asset because that membership has value and an ownership interest in that property, which may be worth, $40 million, $50 million.
And then they give me a paltry check for $200. And in his same online presence, his website, he's valuing my membership at $60,000. And bear in mind, I have 11 of those memberships.
We believe that he never had any intent to give the property over, and certainly not to develop it and give it over. His statements in those memberships, sales documents, say that once Front Site is fully built out and running like a well-oiled machine, he would then pass it over. That means completion of the resort and then all of the infrastructure. And really, he's going to have this completed resort that people will have interest in. And he's not spending the money to build out the resort. He's just getting more money. The training, everybody says the training out there is phenomenal. The facility itself is phenomenal. The only problem is it's run by Ignatius Piazza. He's got to go. And so once the property is pulled away from Piazza, I think it's strongly in the lender's interest to work out something with the members and try and figure out a way to keep Front Site going without the involvement of Ignatius Piazza. So if anybody, if any class members want to, potential class members want to reach out to me, if there are any lawyers out there that want to get involved on the class on the legal side, feel free to reach out to me at 800-366-8529.
And a driver of a motorcycle leads Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies on a pursuit through the town of Pahrump. He got away, but thanks to a tip, police caught their man. Brad Francis explains.
Brendan Tyler has been booked into the Nye County Detention Center for several offenses, including reckless driving, disregarding personal and property safety, and driver disobeying a peace officer, endangering other people. The Sheriff's Office says on March 10th around 5:30 p.m., a deputy on routine patrol in the area of State Route 160 and Dandelion Street saw a black and gray motorcycle pull off Carlton Street heading south on 160 at a high rate of speed. The officer caught up to the motorcycle being driven by a man later identified as Tyler at 160 and Homestead Road. The deputy says he witnessed Tyler commit 2 minor offenses and at that time initiated a traffic stop. Tyler failed to pull over and continued south on State Route 160 at speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour. The pursuing officer says Tyler led him on a lengthy pursuit and failed to stop at any time, blowing through stop signs and passing vehicles without any regard for his own safety or that of the public. A short time later, the Sheriff's Office received a tip that Tyler had just had the motorcycle serviced at a local repair shop. That shop gave deputies Tyler's address, and officers say when they arrived at Tyler's home, they found him and the motorcycle. The deputy that pursued Tyler said he was wearing the same clothes he was wearing during the pursuit. Tyler was placed under arrest and taken to jail.
And we'll be back with more local news on News 25 right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by Sunset Valley Pools. For quality service and supplies, call 775-513-4114.
And welcome back. There have been 2 confirmed deaths related to COVID-19 reported since Monday, March 7th, both residents of Pahrump. There are 22 new COVID-19 confirmed positive cases in Nye County since Monday the 7th, reported and confirmed, with 1 in Tonopah, 1 in Smoky Valley, and the remainder here in Pahrump. The total now is 6,381 confirmed COVID-19 positives countywide since the first reported case in March of 2020. These do not include home tests, which are the majority of the testing being conducted at this time. Pahrump COVID-19 and flu vaccine clinics return Tuesday, March 22nd, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Community Health Nurse Office. That's at 1981 East Calvada Boulevard. You can get free COVID home tests at any area health nurse office in your area. as well as at the Beatty and Amargosa Town Office. You can get tested at Serenity Mental Health on Calvada Boulevard, and vaccines are available at most area pharmacies.
Well, today the state confirmed that the FlowFlex COVID-19 antigen home tests manufactured by Acon Laboratories ordered for the state of Nevada are not affected by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's FDA recall. In early January, the FDA identified the U.S. distribution of unauthorized test kits with the trade name FlowFlex SARS-CoV-2 antigen rapid test self-testing and subsequently issued a recall as these tests have not been approved, cleared, or authorized by the FDA. Acon Laboratories is not importing tests under this name into the United States as they are only authorized for sale in Europe and other markets. To order free at-home COVID-19 tests here in the United States, you can visit covidtest.gov.
And the Henderson Fire Department is investigating an early morning fire that happened Tuesday that sent smoke through the Pinnacle building in Henderson, home to KPVM's Henderson Studios. No one was hurt, but there were some smoke damage there reported. Mario Santa Maria manages the office space on the second floor.
I got a call around 6:30 in the morning saying that there was a fire, that they needed the keys to get inside. So when I got here, the fire department was here. They had already put the fire out. Initially, when they came at 1 in the morning, they just did a visual around the building and they didn't see anything, so they thought it was just a false alarm. And then the alarm triggered again at 3 in the morning. And again, they did a visual walkthrough. They didn't see anything until 6 in the morning, where the construction workers next door noticed smoke coming out of the top of the building. I was shocked, but I knew that the fire department had already taken care of it because they're really good at that. But I was surprised because I haven't experienced anything like that before in my career.
What was your reaction when you saw all the smoke?
I said, I hope everyone is okay. I hope no one's hurt, first of all. And then I started thinking about if there was any damage, like any physical damage to our offices or any of our tenants' offices. But I wanted to make sure everyone was okay at first, yeah. I'm so thankful for the construction workers because they could have been so focused on their job, which they already are, but who can not see a smoking fire next door, right? So I'm very thankful for that they noticed it.
And Sticks Tavern, located on the ground floor of the Pinnacle building, was closed all day yesterday to allow for the smoke to be cleared, but did reopen this morning. Henderson Fire Department says that the preliminary investigation has determined that the area of origin for the fire was from the laundry bin that had oil that the restaurant uses for cleaning ignited on the cleaning rags that were left inside the bin.
Well, you bet a lot of people will be celebrating St. Patrick's Day this year as COVID-19 cases continue to decline. But some may still wondering if it's safe to socialize. According to Dr. Joseph Cabaza with Cleveland Clinic, the answer is yes.
The descent from the Omicron peak has gone down tremendously, and we expect it to continue to go down a bit. In the next couple months, I think we're very optimistic to have that similar feeling that we had in the summer, back in June, July of 2021, where there were so few cases that I think we all felt more confident in anything we did.
Dr. Cabaza says it really comes down to personal risk at this point. If you don't feel comfortable being around strangers, it's probably best to stay home or do something in a smaller group with family and friends. It can also help to know their vaccination status. As far as masks go, the CDC says they don't have to be worn indoors anymore in most parts of the U.S. However, they are still required on public transportation. Dr. Cabaza says another thing to consider is who might be at risk if you do go out.
It's very important to know who's in your life, who might be vulnerable that you are around or will be around in the time after any kind of risky gathering. So if you have elderly parents or grandparents or friends or family members that are immunocompromised, those are people that, unfortunately are not fully out of the woods.
Dr. Cabaza recommends staying away from anyone vulnerable for a week or two after you go out to make sure you don't risk getting them sick. You could also take a COVID test to confirm you're negative.
We have so much more news after the break, including a KPVM birthday to celebrate.
Ooh.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
And welcome back. Spring break is over for Nye County students. Now it's time to get back into the swing of things. There's a lot going on. Here's Louis Posato with this week's student news.
Hello, my name is Louis Posato and welcome to today's news. We are finally excited to announce that prom is set for April 30th, 2022 at Mountain Falls. The theme is Enchanted Garden and will take place from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tickets will start being sold soon to juniors and seniors. There is a lucky raffle in the spirit of St. Patrick's Day happening until Monday, March 21st. Single tickets are $1 and 10 tickets for $5. They can be purchased during lunch in the cafeteria. Their winner will be announced on Tuesday, March 22nd. The Trojanette Review is on March 15th, tonight at 7 p.m. The PVHS dance team will be showing off their dances from the season. Tickets are sold for $10 at the entrance. We hope you had a great spring break and have an amazing rest of your week.
Thanks, Louis. Well, as you know, tomorrow's St. Patty's Day. We have a perfect cat for you to take home to be your forever mate. Here's Darby with a lovable kitty named Irish.
This segment is brought to you by Higher Society Smoke Shop in Las Vegas. Call 702-982-2300. Call 702-982-2300.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Irish. Irish is a 6-year-old domestic shorthair black and white kitty. So friendly, very, very, very talkative. Right when you come in, he just grabs your attention. He is just a beautiful cat. Gorgeous green eyes, which I think is so fitting for his name, Irish. Just super friendly kitty. He has the wonderful little pouch on the bottom of his tummy that cats get. He's very heavy. He is a owner surrender, and he's just looking for his forever home. He's just so excited. He's been wanting to wander around the room a little bit, so that's why he's on the table right now. If you want to come and see Irish or any of his new friends here in the cat room at Desert Haven Animal Society, you can give them a call at 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
And it is a time lapse. Those aren't the clouds in real time, even though it feels,
like that because of the wind. We got some windy weather and a full weather update with John coming up in just a moment.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Managed to avoid getting stabbed on the Ides of March, and here we are already. It's St. Patrick's Day Eve. I'm just all excited. All the good children get a pot of gold. Did you get yours? Work on that. All right. Burnley, Fallon, Carson City. Look at y'all go at 60 degrees. Tonopah, the cool spot in the state today at 54. Goldfield returning to theme at 60 degrees. And look at Beatty hanging out with the donkeys at 67 degrees. Love it. Amargosa, 73. And the hot spot today was Las Vegas, 76 degrees. Congratulations out there in Las Vegas. 86 in Death Valley, and here in the paradise of Pahrump. Let's take a look. Current temperature, 72 degrees. Whoa, it's also our high today. Look at that. Winds kind of buffeting us all day long, 21 mile per hour average gusts. So we saw some big ones, 35 and 40 here and there. That humidity was pretty bone dry at 14% as the sun rose this morning in all its glory and promise at 6:53 a.m. Check this out. Sets at 6:52. We're at 12 and 12. How about that? And just in time for the vernal equinox. Heading out a low night of 43 degrees. North-northeasterly winds continue to buffet at 15 miles per hour. They are diminishing. How does that look for the rest of the week and into the weekend? Well, look at the winds dying down Thursday, Friday, but look at that. Saturday, Sunday, it's back with a vengeance. 20, 25 mile per hour gusts. We're not quite under a wind advisory today, even at 21 miles per hour, but it's going to be kind of a little dicey this weekend. Clouds will disappear on Monday. We're going to see sunshine, temperatures all the way up to 83 degrees by Wednesday. That's the good news, but Saturday, Sunday going to be kind of a windy, rainy bummer. Bummer. Okay, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Thanks, John. Well, you know what? Yesterday was Romano's birthday.
I know.
I posted it yesterday, last night on KPVM's Facebook page. But I got to tell you, Romano went
Hey, look at that.
He went the whole entire day yesterday without telling us. and it slipped through our vision there. And so we took him out last night, took that picture of him. He really loves the picture we took.
And we had cake and pizza today.
We did. Happy birthday, Romano. He is our tech director, and we love him so much. And he's the one that's operating all this stuff. So if you see like crazy things pop up on screen, it's because he's mad at us now.
That's right.
Happy birthday. We hope you had the best birthday ever.
That does it for us tonight. For News 25, I'm Stacy Jensen.
I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
Good night.
Good night.